So, and in fact, I'd also like to bring in Trump's Greenland remarks. He's said that, like I want to quote him that, it's Greenland, they are going to do, US is going to do something, and if not US, then China or Russia will do it. But it's like an open threat that, he's giving out there. So what, how are you looking at that front as well from a commodity standpoint? And is commodities now becoming less about the fundamentals and more about, this power politics dynamics that is happening here?
So right now we are in a multipolar world, and there is a trade war going on across the world. So from globalization, we are going to deglobalization, and that makes commodity very attractive. And that is the reason why commodities have performed the way it has performed. This has been an exceptional year for most of the commodities. So going forward, Greenland, I believe that this is the escalation of the geopolitical tension. And whenever that happens, the safe haven flows in the market increases, the prices of gold, silver increases, the price of other metal increases. So this is the time, at the time when world needs commodity prices to get lower, we are seeing the escalation by Mr. Donald Trump. So it's quite sad, but that is how it is. And there was no direct threat from Russia or China to take over Greenland, but Mr. Trump says it. So, and he believes it. So I think it's just one more reason, to go about it. They are saying it's a strategic reason and national security interest reason. So we don't know what is it, but Mr. Trump thinks that is how it is. So this is going to increase the price, put a upward pressure on the price of many commodities if this happens. There is uprising taking place in Iran right now. It's a chaos everywhere. If you look at South America, it's chaos. He's talking about Cuba, Mexico, Greenland. So in this chaos, commodity generally never goes down.
Okay, so in this chaos, commodities not going anywhere. But just stay with us, Kunal. I'd like to address another important development this evening. U.S. forces have boarded another oil tanker in the Caribbean Sea as the Trump administration continues to target sanctioned tankers traveling to and from Venezuela. Now, according to U.S. Southern Command, the pre-dawn action was carried out by the U.S. Marines and Navy, which declared there is no safe haven for criminals, as it announced the seizure of the vessel called the Olina. Now, this comes 2 days after the United States had seized 2 tankers linked to Venezuelan oil exports, in back-to-back operations in the North Atlantic and the Caribbean. So this is clearly an escalation on the enforcement side of Venezuela conflict. Kunal, I'll bring you again here. The US is no longer, just sanctioning. It is physically boarding and also seizing the tankers here. So how significant is this escalation in the geopolitical terms, if I may say?
This is a major, if you want me to rate it from 1 being minimum and 5 being this is 4. It's just one level down. So I think there is a possibility of retaliation by Russia in a form of they may also acquire or they may also take over the US tankers. So it's a major escalation to the on a geopolitical front. So yeah. I believe that I really hope and pray this doesn't happen. But the way it is right now, the global geopolitical landscape is definitely deteriorating very fast.
Absolutely. And from, India perspective, even if we are not directly involved, do these actions indirectly push up the landed crude cost through volatility, freight premiums, and even risk pricing for that matter, Kunal?
Yes, if you see, there is a direct pressure on India not to buy Russian oil, which is relatively cheaper to the other grades. So it definitely affects the costing, the rate at which we used to buy oil. Will be need to pay a couple of more dollars to acquire them right now. So it is not good for even India. And like you rightly pointed out, if this worsens out, if this tanker thing worsens out, then the freight rates will definitely shoot up. So just a matter of time, when the tanker rate shoots up, everything is going to be haywire. So it's a complete chaos, and let's hope and pray that nothing very bad happens from here.
Absolutely. Let's just hope and pray that nothing, extremely bad, pans out in the future. And since, this US military action against Venezuela on January 3rd, if we talk about the commodities here, gold is up nearly 4%, silver has surged almost 14%. So safe haven demand is, clearly building up. So is this rally in gold purely geopolitical, or is it also reflecting deeper discomfort about the global economic order right now, Kunal? And also silver, if we talk about, has moved much faster than gold. So is this only, the safe haven buying here, or are we industrial, and green energy demand factors the amplifying, this move?
Well, this is nothing to do with the traditional demand and demand scenario where the demand is rising and that's why prices are rising. Demand is rising, definitely. There's no second thought about it, but they are rising because of another reason. It is rising because of the fact that the dollar is likely to lose its value. Whatever action, what we are seeing from Mr. Trump over last 1.5 years, it is clearly indicating that going forward, there is a strong possibility that there can be a sharp dip in the value of dollar. If you see lately what has been happening in the US, all the major investment bankers, retail giant like Walmart, they are accepting cryptocurrency as an alternative payment mode or alternative financial system. So even the some of the Fed members have agreed and they are willing to regulate the Bitcoin market. So it seems that the rising debt level of the US central bank remains the key reason behind whatever is happening right now. And the chaos, what we are seeing is whenever you see the irrational money printing and the abrupt rise in the debt levels of the central banks, it is always followed by a chaos. So if you study the history, 1929 Great Depression, or perhaps even World War II, these were the times where the money printing and the hyperinflation scenario has taken place. And post that, we've seen World War taking place. So these are very, very difficult times. I mean, the traditional economic theories are at question mark. So if you see what has been happening, in spite of the fact that the Federal Reserve is cutting their interest rate, okay, the bond yields, the 10-year and 30-year bond yields are shooting up. So this never happens. So there's a complete distortion taking place in the bond market across the world. So bond market is not willing to accept the fact that even if the rates are going down, the yields are continuously shooting up. So the long-term inflationary expectation is rising at an alarming pace. So gold, asset like gold and silver, they are likely to do well in this kind of scenario where the world is looking for the alternative currency and they are not having one. So people are flocking towards gold and silver, nothing else.
Yes.
And the supply side of silver was in a deficit. So whenever there is a shortage, the quantum of upside is generally something which you cannot predict.